Hello, hello. Hello. Oh, sorry. And welcome to Sarah Ann Creations. I am Sarah. I am the owner and the one man show to, or one woman show to everything. Sarah Ann Creations on Etsy, here on YouTube. I also have Sarah Ann Digitals on Etsy as well, which is some embroidery designs that I've done. I haven't added to it in a while. But I have that as well. I am also Sarah Ann Creations on Spoonflower, which is an online print-on-demand fabric shop. You can find my designs and have them printed on different variety of fabrics. Trying to see if there's anywhere else I am. No. I would love to have my own website one of these days, but that sounds like a whole nother rabbit hole that I don't feel like going down right now. So, today I'm going to be working on my very last Oz in Og bags. I created a design for an event in the diamond painting community called Oz in Og, run by Crafting with Shay here on YouTube, as well as her co-host, Ditsy's Diamond Den. They're running the event together. And I came up with an idea that I liked, and I created it, and people seem to like it. And I have had a few people ask if I had any more bags left, which I didn't. I am completely sold out, other than my giveaway bags. And I did have about a yard left of each fabric. And I told a few of those individuals that I would make the rest of my fabric into bags. So that means there's going to be 5 more bags. 5. And that's it. I don't have any more fabric. I've cut my last bit. In fact, here is my empty bolt of one of them, and my empty bolt of the other. 2 empty bolts. So there will only be 5 left. So if you really, really, really want a bag, they are $40. In the future, my bag prices may go up. Just because they're a lot more work than I expected them to be. And especially the time that goes into if I'm digitizing something for the bag itself, it's a very lengthy process. So in the future, my bags may go up. So if by chance in future events I make bags, the price may be slightly higher. And just to be completely transparent, my bag prices, hold on, I have something on the floor. My prices tend to be the amount of labor I put into them and what supplies all go into them. Now, I went to a very fancy quilt shop today, and prices in a quilt shop are way, way more expensive. I've also even contemplated making or drawing hold on. For some reason, things are up. I've even contemplated drawing up. You can't hear me. Oh, only because you can't hear me because you're setting up for yours. Okay. I was like, you can't hear me. Sorry, I'm interrupting yours. I had to jump on whenever I could. Sorry, Lee. So I have contemplated actually drawing up designs for specific events and having it printed on Spoonflower to make into bags. Now, that road is possible. However, bags would be a lot more expensive in that area because those having fabric printed is a lot more expensive. So printed fabric for a cotton would be about, I think it's like $20 a yard. So it would definitely be more expensive to make drawn fabrics and then put them up for sale. Hi, Leanne. Welcome. Can you hear me? I just want to make sure because I know Lee is getting ready for his. So he said he can't hear me. So, okay, good. You can hear me. So I'm not opposed to making future bags for other events. Just I will kind of have to pick and choose because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I homeschool my children. I'm literally a one-man show for everything. So future events, yes, I can do them, but I kind of have to pick and choose and whatever I get inspiration for. I've been trying to think up a bag for drills and chills, but the inspiration hasn't 100% hit me. So that may or may not happen. Hi, Ditsy. Okay, so I thought we would start with me heat pressing my fabrics because I need to put, this is a medium weight interfacing that helps make the outer part of the bag a little more sturdy. And I have to iron that on to both the front panels of each bag. So I figured, since many of you have mentioned that you'd like to see some of my machines, my stuff, I figure we would start with my newest item that I brought in. This is my heat press. It is a Trans Pro Plus from ProWorld.com. It's a 16 by 20 heat press. I purchased this because I did shirts for Leopard Leather Works. I did their shirts and I needed heat press and I have always wanted one. So I kind of went a little overboard. I could have gotten a cheaper one, but I didn't want to go too cheap and like regret it. So let me see if I can move some things and you guys can see better. And I'm just in my basement, so it's not fancy. Leanne, it's not fancy. I wish it were. Okay. So here's my heat press. She does not have a name. I know some people name their machines. I don't name machines. Okay. So I'm just going to, all I have to do is put the interfacing on these fabrics. So I think I have 4 more to do. I believe in Kara's live, the principal painter, a few people had mentioned that they still wanted bags, and I was completely sold out of them. But I did have about a yard of fabric left, and I said if anyone was interested, I would sew them up. So there's a couple people interested. So I first heat press them for 15 seconds at like 305 degrees. they're nice and flat, then I take my interfacing, and on the interfacing, this is fusible interfacing. So on the back, there's like these little bumps, and that's the adhesive. So I put it flat on the back, and then I just flip it over and smooth it out. Probably only going to do one at a time so I don't mess it up. Don't shift on me. Oh, it's shifting. Okay. This looks a little long. Hold on. I gotta go trim this. 1 second. A little too long. Okay. Hopefully this is enough. I like to lay it out first and then flip it. And then I kind of just use my nails to pull it around. Then to adhere it on, I only do it for about 5 or 6 seconds. And then I press this release button because that's the only way I can get it open when it's on its automatic press. Oh. So this one. So how are all of you? I always feel so bad because I seem to go on lives whenever Lee is going to do a live. But like I said, I go on whenever I don't have children around. Or I can like fit it in like really fast. Sorry, I can't read from far away. I'll have to set up my iPad in a second so I can read the comments. Okay, now I just need to do 2 more. Technically, I'm also not supposed to use water while using this, but that's the only way I can get these to lay smooth and flat. So I use my water and then I put on my, this is a Teflon sheet, which keeps things from sticking to my machine. And this is a self-opening. Well, you can make it self-opening or not self-opening. You can do it manually, but I like the self-opening in case I'm not nearby. But I do have to say that it scares the living crap out of me every time it opens because it makes a really loud noise. And even if I'm across the room, it scares the living poop out of me. Okay, now 5 seconds. I also have some news. 5 more seconds. And then we will move to the other machine. Okay. All these are prepped and ready to go. And I will move you. Hold on 1 second. I wonder if it's charged enough. No, I don't want to be pregnant. That would be a big fat No, thank you. Okay. I think I'm going to just have you guys closer to down like that so you can see the machine working. Let me grab my iPad real fast so I can see what's going on. And I don't have to keep trying to look at the screen. Okay. Okay. I appreciate that, guys. That's one of the reasons why I went with having that's why I got a digitized bag, because I loved how uniform and perfect it made it. For someone who's a perfectionist, I don't think I will ever heal from being a perfectionist. So, for someone who's a perfectionist, being able to have a bag that looks consistent with every single one, it made my heart happy. So, hello, Brenda. Yes, you were the one who contacted me, right? Guys, I'm really bad at names. I think I have to remember. So this is, let me introduce my machine. This is my brother PR620. It's a 6-needle machine, you can see. So 6 needle is exactly what it sounds like. Sorry if you guys get sick. It means, so it's got 6 spools, 3 on this side, 3 on that side. Then each thread runs up through this back bar, through to this front bar, comes down through here, goes under this tension. Then they each wrap around one of these tension knobs. So it'll wrap around and each one goes down its own path. Then it comes to another tensioner. It goes down, up. Oh, and this one's the arm is currently down because I was oiling it, so it's not in the correct position, but it'll pop up when I set it. But it goes down, through the channel, around, up, through this bar, back down, all the way down, through here, and then I thread the machine. So this is a baby machine compared to many people, or many people I follow. I have a friend who has 2 12 needles and a 6 needle, I think, something like that. I also know another person who has Melcos. Melcos usually have around 16 needles. I would love to have one of those, but I am not in that. I'm not in that area yet. Okay. Now, okay. So, that is my machine. I got her used. She only had about 800,000 stitches on her when I first got her. let's see how many stitches she has now. Oh, I gotta, hold on. Gotta go in and see how many stitches she's got. Okay. She has almost 6 million stitches on them. So she's got 5,953,628 stitches, which actually isn't too bad. I've had her for about 2 years, so she went from 800,000 to almost 6 million. Okay, let me go back into where I was. Okay. Set. Edit end. I gotta change to the big frame. So right now, this is set up for, hold on. Whoa. Right now, this is set up for this littler frame. If you can see, she goes right in like that. It's set up for the littler one. To make it for the larger one, I need to unscrew this little thumb screw and this little thumb screw and pull it out until it clicks into place. And then I retighten it. Then she is set up for this one. This is my largest hoop. It's 8 by 12, roughly. So that's the largest I can go. Bigger machines, you can go up to like 16 by 20, which is huge. I would love that, but this is the biggest I can go. And I just recently, because I wanted to produce more bags, I just recently purchased like a knockoff one from Amazon to go on my machine because the actual ones are very, very expensive and I couldn't afford it. But I got a knockoff one and it's worked just fine. So this allows me to do 2 bags at one time, which helped with my production immensely. So I figure for this whole thing, I'm just going to leave you guys parked there and you can watch the machine sew or embroider, whatever you want to refer to it as. You guys can watch her go, and I'll do all the switching out over here because it'll be faster for me instead of turning you every few seconds. So if that's okay, then we will get started. So, 5, 2, 4, 5 zippers. Put my zippers away. And then I do have some bags to wrap up and ship out. So you can watch me do that process too. So first off, I need to what do I use? Tearaway or cutaway? I can't remember. Oh, it's cutaway. Whoa. You can tell it's been a while. Okay. So I use cutaway stabilizer. It's more of a like soft stabilizer. It doesn't make any crinkly noises. Tearaway is more crinkly, if you can hear that. So it crinkles more. I like the cutaway because then you don't know what's inside the bag and it's nice and pretty and sounds good and it's sturdier. So, yes, this is 5 more on top of the 18. It's my last bit of fabric. I don't have any more fabric. I've used all my bolts up. So I was able to get 5 more out of it, or going to get 5 more out of it. Because I had a few people say, hey, you're out? I was like, yes, I sold out. I'm sorry. And then I have a ton of fabric, so I'm like, but I could make more if there was interest in it. And here's my handy dandy hoop tightener. So I just gotta tighten that and tighten the other side. I wish I had more cameras for you guys to watch me, but sorry. And I just tighten it as tight as I can get it. Okay. So here's one hooped. And what I like to do is I take a black marker, or anything really. So on this hoop, if you can tell, there is this tightener and this tightener. Either way you put it in the machine, you'll have a tightener down in this right-hand corner. So if I put it in that way, it'd be in the right-hand corner. If I put it in this way, it'd be in the right-hand corner. So I have put it in wrong 1,000,001 times. So I like to put an arrow or a dot to let me know which side is supposed to be out towards me, so I don't mess it up. Okay, that's ready to go. Okay, now it lined itself up because it can tell that it's in the bigger frame. Now I'm just going to double check, make sure it's not going to hit anywhere. Good. 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 And good. Okay. Then let me make sure all my colors are in the right place. This is going to be red. And that's going to be linen. That's going to be white, black. Okay. All right. Now I can sew. So I'm going to tell this thing to start doing the placement stitch for me. That just lets me know where all the places I need to put fabric are when that comes to that point. And where I need to put my zipper. Woo. Sorry, guys. And then I can hoop up some more stabilizer on this next one. Gotta cut more stabilizer. I just had to buy more. So how is everyone? Can you guys see that okay? I would put you closer, but as you can see, this moves out pretty far, and I don't want to knock my computer off, so. Okay, so this has done a placement stitch for where everything needs to go, even my zipper. So, this is where the second hoop has come in handy. Let me mark it. Where did I put the marker? Here we go. The second hoop has come in handy because I can take this one out and be working on it, and I can tell my machine to go back one whole step. So I tell it, go back to where you just were and stitch again. So it's going to work on this now while I work on this one. So right now I'm just going to put well, that was me too, Kathy, because during the pandemic is when I got into it. So, and I started with a little itty bitty, I mean, it wasn't itty bitty, it was pretty dang fancy for me, but I started off with a flatbed, which is like a sewing machine, right? But it has embroidering capabilities. And I quickly realized that I really liked embroidery. So I traded that old machine in and got this machine. So I'm horrible at sewing. Yeah, I mean, I can sew. In fact, I've reupholstered RV chair, like RV cushions. I reupholstered my parents' what is the word? They're like patio furniture. I reupholstered that. But I'm not very good at it. So now this one's done. I can work on that one, and I can take this one that I prepped the zipper on. Guys, if I stutter with my words, it's because my brain is a very foggy place. I don't mean to sound dumb. It just comes out that way. So it's going to go on to tack down my zipper. And now I'll work on this next one and put another zipper on. Yeah, I wish I was better at sewing. I definitely cannot hand sew worth a darn. That's like a huge no way is that going to happen. But also I'm only self-taught. Everything I've done, I've watched other people and taught myself from there. So everything is pretty much self-taught. Even digitizing. I should show you guys, well, I don't know how I would show you my digitizing software. Digitizing for embroidery is a whole nother beast. It's definitely takes a lot of work. Okay, so now that is stitched on, I can go back a stitch and have it do the same thing for this one. Click it in, and now it'll attach that zipper. Yeah, I can't sew by hand at all. I mean, I can maybe sew on a button, and then it's like on for life because it's so tight. But other than that, no. I can't hand sew. Now, what I'm going to do is, this is my zipper right here on the back. I'm going to cut out this little section so that the zipper can zip back and forth freely. I remember reading that and I never got back to you. I'm sorry. You could even just use like, if you don't really care about the drapes and like having it so that they're where you can undo it, you could use like Fabri-Tac. They also have a tape, a hemming tape that's like Fabri-Tac, and you just use that. I've never used it, but a lot of people actually use it for these kinds of bags. But I don't have any like experience with it. But if it's just a quick, if you just want a quick fix to it, then that might be the way to go. Sorry, I'm just trimming stuff out. Like I said, I wasn't going to flip you back and forth because you'll get sick and it'll cut down on my time. Okay. Okay, now you can see the zipper part is all trimmed out. And now I need to add fabric. So I'm going to add the front of the bag. You'd rather be diamond painting. I finished my diamond painting. I started another one because I had purchased one during like the what's it called? The Amazon Prime Day, I think it was. I purchased a couple of like the little ones from Diamond Art Club. I started working on that and my daughter helped me a little bit. So she lasted a lot longer than I thought she was going to, so that's good. Okay, now I'm just placing all the fabric pieces that I need on here. And I'm just trimming something up so that it's nice and straight. Plus, I'm starting school with my kiddos on Monday, so I'm gonna be busy for the next however many weeks of school. Forever. Okay. Bye, Leanne. Thank you for stopping by. I'm a homeschooler, so I homeschool my kids. And we're gonna start school it's on Tuesday. We're gonna start school on Tuesday. Yeah. I haven't fully decided on all their curriculum, but we'll work it out eventually. That's the only thing. Like, I don't mind teaching it, really. It's trying to figure out if I'm completely screwing everything up or not. like I literally need someone to just be like, okay, this is the subjects they need to know. These are great resources. Okay. Like if somebody could hold my hand a little for that part, I'd be pretty happy. Okay. Now I'm adding my fabric on. Make sure everything's nice and flat in the bottom. Okay. Now I'm going to stitch my fabric on. What was going to be your next question? If I have all the curriculum? I have their math figured out and their English and handwriting. We're changing up math this year because learning the basic facts in addition and subtraction was kind of a struggle, and most days math ended in tears and screaming and crying, and I just don't want that. I want my daughter to look forward to math and it to be easy for her. So we've decided to go a different direction on math, and hopefully that will help her. She really doesn't like flashcards and being timed and all that stuff, which I can feel around that because I was the same way as a kid. I hated those times tests that they would give you. Oh, I was awful at that. Hated that stuff. Now I just need to kind of figure out science and history, that kind of stuff. I've never really introduced that before because they were young, but now she's getting a little older. Yeah, me too. Like, I was like, I don't know. And you know what's funny is, like, I'm probably the best at math I've been since ever now that I've actually done math with her. So I'm better at math now. I wasn't when I was in the school. In grade school, anyway. I do. Now, when I was in high school, they used to have they thought I was really good at math, and I didn't think I was like that great at math, but I do enjoy it. I enjoy math, but I would say what they used to call me, it was something math machine. It rhymed with my last name, so they called me Sarah the Math Machine. I was pretty good at it, but I don't think I was as good at it as they thought I was. But anyway. Okay. Now I'm just adding fabric to this next one. Like this. Now I have my next one ready to go, and I can take this one off and put the next one up. Grab that. And I use this knitting needle to help me get the fabric back, which is a lifesaver. Okay, now I'm going to go back one, and it's going to stitch this down for me. Okay, now I have this, and I'm going to just go press this really fast with my little mini iron. Oh no, did I not turn it on? I didn't turn it on. This is the stuff that slows me down. Okay. Okay. Take this out and get this prepped. This is why I like having two of them, because now I can do double duty here. So and I'll press this one down too once it's all heated up. Okay. This one's pressed. And just add it back in. Now it's going to stitch this front panel down so that it's nice and smooth. Okay, so the front of that is stitched down, and now we can do all the applique. We can do the shoes, and we can do the words. So I'm going to have it stitch the tack down for the inside of the shoe. So it just did, well, it's not a tack down. It's the placement stitch for the inside of the shoe. And this is the fabric I use for the inside of the shoe. It's like a parchment color fabric. And on the back, if you see that shiny, let's see, can you see it shiny? Maybe. That shiny is Heat and Bond Light, which allows me to press it to the fabric once it's cut out. Okay. Then I'm going to I'm just stitching it down This is the tack down stitch. I'm going to do it one more time. Now I'm going to go back 2 so I can do it on the next one. Oh, go back 3. Because this one needs to stitch down the front as well. So I'm trying to juggle 2 at a time, so that I can get them done a little bit quicker. And now that one's going to tack that down to the front. Now I'll repeat the same process. If you can see, I'll repeat the same process. See how it's stitched down? I'll repeat that same process on this one. While I trim this fabric out. So I'm just over here trimming really close to that stitch line that it left. You gotta get pretty darn close or the satin stitch will not cover it. So I'll show you when I'm done. Okay. So that's what it looks like when it's all cut out. I'm going to just go press that real fast to initiate that heat and bond to adhere. Okay. Now that that's adhered, I can put that back in after I do this one. So this one. Okay, that's done. Now I'll switch it out. This one. And now it'll do the shoes. So it'll put down a placement stitch for the shoes. And And then I will have it tack it down with the next step. Working on this. I'm not as fast as my machine. My machine gets done way faster than I do. That one's ready. Just gotta heat it. Okay. So now this is ready for me to add my ruby slippers to. Here's I use an HTV. It's a heat transfer vinyl for this part. Gotta wait till it gets a hold of it. I will probably sit down to cut this because it can really hurt my back if I'm leaned over for that long trying to trim it out. Okay. Now I gotta go back 2 and then it'll do the placement. Almost fell. Just over here trimming up these ruby red slippers, and then after that's done I need to press it. And this process is called applique, which means you're adding fabric or HTV, whatever it may be, to it to create the design, and then you are like heating it to adhere it to it. Then you take a satin stitch and go around the edge, and it gives it a nice pretty look. Now, I'm going to go press it down. Now it's pressed. So here's what it looks like when it's pressed down. And the satin stitching will make it pop. Okay, now I can add the ruby slippers to this one. Okay. Sure. Where it needs to be. Now while I go and trim this out, it's going to work on all the satin stitching. So what you're going to see it do is it's going to do all the satin stitching for the shoes. Then after the shoes, it'll write there's no place like home. So it'll go there's no place like and then home under here. So it's going to do all of that while I work on the other one. So put this under. Make sure that's back. And then I just tell it, go for it. I usually knock it down at a speed just so that it doesn't, so it looks nicer. this one is ready to go on the machine next. And I think I'm going to cut some more this is all I have left for cutaway. That's it. So, does anyone have any questions for me? If you have questions, I'm more than happy to answer. I always feel bad, like you guys are sitting here watching the machine go while like answering something. I do. I'll just leave it that size. That's fine. It's good. So there's my cutaway. Whatever remained of my cutaway. You know, what's funny is I just watched a lot of other people who had these machines, and that's the only information I had. Even when I got this, that was the only information I had, and it worked out well. Oh no, hold on. One of these things got stuck. One of the other threads fell down. It's a purple thread, of course. On. Got stuck under the other stuff. See how this purple thread, it was hanging down, and so it got it got stuck into the stitching. So now I have to try and pull it out or trim it out. I think I'm getting it. Got some of it. I wasn't paying enough attention. And it's not like it's actually stitched, like it didn't stitch in it, it just got stuck under all the other threads. That's all that happened. Aha! See? You would never know. I think I could use metallic. I've never used metallic thread in my machine. And I'm not 100% sure if you can or not, because as far as I know, metallic thread is a bit more delicate. If that makes sense. Like, it can break easier. Hi, Tim. So, it can tend to break easier. So, maybe? I really don't actually know. And I do have like color charts. This is Madeira thread, and it does have some metallics. I don't know, maybe. Also, in brainstorming for possibly doing a bag for grills and chills, I did hear about this. This is called Luna, and they have other ones too. And it's glow in the dark thread, guys. And I was like, how cool would it be to make the bag glow in the dark? I think that would be cool. Now, glow in the dark thread is very, very expensive though, compared to other ones. But I wish you guys could see it glow in the dark. Maybe if I'm gonna put it up to my light cursor. And then maybe if I make it dark in here, you guys can see. See if I can make it dark. Oh, it's not going to be dark enough. Oh, but you can kind of see it. Look, look, look. Look, how cool is this? Oh, you can't see it on the camera. Shoot. Guys, this is so cool. Oh, it's not showing up. Shoot. Can you see it like this? Oh, there you go. See it? Isn't that cool? would be neat. Hi, Carrie. My lights back on so you guys can see. Sorry. The only problem is I don't know if I'm gonna have much time to work on bags. I'm trying to sort out my kids and I don't know. I want to work on bags. Yeah, I was like, what can make it dark? And I just grabbed the nearest thing to make it dark. I was like, quick, you guys have to see this. Like, it shows up really good here. Like, me just in front of it, but... I've been really bad at drinking water today. Yeah, I've got lots of tools. Whenever my husband needs something, he comes downstairs and he's like, do you have XYZ? And I'm like, yes. Am I going to see it again after I give it to you? He always comes down and gets my leather punch. He always grabs this sucker. He always comes down and gets my leather punch and my scissors and my cutting tools. I'm going to scoop this out so you guys can actually be at a better angle. Well, while this is stitching, I'll let you look. You'll see my thread wall. So these are all like my mainly used threads. These are not. They're wax thread. So it's this. It's a wax thread. These I use for baseballs. So this is, so I make baseballs too. So I have to undo the entire baseball into the two petals, this petal and this petal. And then I put it on my embroidery machine and I embroider on it. So and then I take these threads or these wax threads and I re-stitch the baseball together by hand. So that's what I use those for. a glow-in-the-dark bag would be really cool. I'm just like, I've been trying to find designs that may not be too heavily done with the thread. Because I don't want to waste a ton of the glow-in-the-dark thread because it would be expensive. But if I could find one that's lower stitch count, it wouldn't be too bad. Thank you. Yeah, that one was kind of my whoopsie one. It was my first one I ever did. I actually did it for one of my cousins. Her son is a big baseball guy, and he actually plays baseball, and I think he's going to a college on a scholarship for baseball. So it was my trial and error. All right. So you guys, I don't know if Disney's still here. She thought I was going to say I was pregnant, but I'm not. So I'm sure all of you are familiar with Tima, with DP the Sparklers. She contacted me. Thank you, Tim and Carrie. She contacted me asking about having shirts made for her and her team. And I said, sure, I can definitely do that. What were you looking for? And she likes the look of embroidery. And I took a look at her logo, and I went ahead and digitized it. It's been through a few tweaks, and I definitely like how it looks. So that's going to be my next live. Will be doing her shirts. I asked her if it would be okay if I shared how I do her shirts, and she said yes. So I'm excited about that. Okay, so this one, all done. I can do a softball. I think I did actually, I do have the thing to do a softball. Okay, now I'm going to put the next one in. This one's ready to start being stitched. But I have to go backwards in all of these. Okay. Pull this back. Make sure it's flat. Okay. Now it will stitch again. It's going to start that process all over again, guys. Well, actually, I was only going to do 18 bags. And I only did 18 bags. And over the last couple of days, a few people have reached out and said, hey, I'd like a bag. And I said, I'm sold out. And I did have about a yard left of each fabric. So I told them I would go ahead and sew them up and put them out for sale. So I have one person waiting for me on one of these bags. In fact, it's Brenda. She's waiting on one of these bags. So she gets to watch her bag being made. Yeah, I'm excited about this shirt. I even, I ordered another magnetic hoop. It's a 5.5 inch by 5.5 inch mighty hoop, so that I can do the left chest logo. I'll show you. So this was the first one I did. That was the first one I digitized. And this was what she sent me, this design, and then I digitized everything. I took it into my software and I did what I thought would look good. Then after I looked at it for a while, I didn't like the round top. And I didn't like how the rays or like the shine lines were so boxed off. So I adjusted that. And I made the shine lines a little more rounded. And the top, I made it more geometric because if you look at a diamond, it's not round on top. It is geometric. It's got little points to it. So I changed that. Then I was looking at this, the word sparklers. I already had font that this is the font that I used, but it has a lot of stitches in it, and I wasn't happy with the amount of stitches because I thought it would like weaken the fabric. So I then took and I redigitized the word sparklers by myself. So I took the already done font and I took it into my software and I redigitized it differently. Because I wasn't happy with how many stitches were in it. Then, after I stitched this, I didn't like how not smooth it looked. So, this is the final one. This is what will be going on the shirts. This, she wanted white for the diamond and the banner and the wording down here, and purple on the inside. So this was what I will be stitching on the shirts. So I like how it came out. She likes how it came out. And so that is what we're going through. So it's gone through about 4 renditions. Thank you, Terry. No, we're not doing anything sparkly, but personally, I don't have anything on hand that can be sparkly. But I really did like how this turned out. Like, I originally was gonna make all these inside lines a satin stitch like this, but it just looked too jumbled to me. So I went with a bean stitch. This is called a bean stitch. So the needle goes back and forth about 3 times for each stitch. And so I thought that looked really good. It gave it a lot more detail than having the satin stitch. So now I just gotta get them on a shirt. Let me trim this up so that it gets ready to rock and roll. stitching, I went ahead. Now you don't have to do this, but I like to trim the back so that when I seal it, it still looks. I know that it looks nice. No one else knows, but I know. So once this is done stitching, then I can put this down on, sorry. I'm like, wait, I didn't press this part. My attention to detail is sometimes a blessing, but sometimes a curse. Because sometimes I think I'll be a little bit too picky, and I would literally chuck something in the trash, even though no one would ever know what I didn't like about it. In fact, there's one in my trash can right now. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know why. This one's from my trash. The stitching's off. I don't know how the stitching got off right here, but it's off. And I was like, I can't keep it. I can't keep it. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. I was telling my husband, I said, I can't believe that I've been this brave this year, because I don't usually tell anyone about my business. And the only time I ever get orders are usually around Christmas time, on my Etsy. And I haven't gotten any orders on my Etsy since March. But by putting myself out there, I've found more people who appreciate the things that I make. Like Tim and Carrie appreciate the stuff that I make. Like, I swear, all of you guys are my cheerleaders. You're more of a cheerleader than most people in my life. Most people in my life are like, oh, that's cool. Okay, well, maybe you shouldn't be doing that because you have a job. It's called being a mom. So, that's usually what I hear most of the time. You're like, well, you have a job. You're a mom. And I'm like, yes, I get that. But I don't want to just have my only identity is mom. That might sound a little selfish, but So now I have this one all ready to go when this one's done. That's why having two hoops has like really helped, because as one's doing one thing, I can be working on something else and then just switch them out. And then once this stitch is down, I can then start putting the front piece on, and that's when I'll put my label in and when I will open my zipper. Got to make sure you open the zipper or it won't work. Thank you, Denise. Now, my husband is 100% supportive of me. He's like, whenever somebody says, well, you shouldn't do it anymore, my husband's like, don't listen to them because you need this. He's like, this is who you are. You need this. Keep doing it. So he's supportive. I'm going to need help pretty soon. If things keep creeping up, I'm like, uh-oh, I'm going to need another machine. Uh-oh, I'm going to need... And I also applied for a craft fair this past week, or a week and a half ago, something like that. And I should find out if I should be able to find out if I got in on the 17th. So I'm hoping I got into that one. I was in it last year, so I hope I get to be in it again this year. Also, with these bags, Denise will know what I'm talking about because she purchased one from me. I was able to get some of these little small ones out of it, and I was thinking about making small little bags. Yes, thank you, Brenda. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I hope you had fun and it wasn't boring. But Denise knows I made little bags that kind of, I don't have any more of them because I gave them away. But these can be made into little bags too. So I have a bunch of those cut too. I just haven't gotten around to making it. And then Kat sent me a fabric, and she wants a see-through bag made with, and she sent me the sunflower fabric. And she didn't have like a liner fabric in mind for it. So I went to the store today, and this is the fabric I came up with for that one. If you can see it. So it's like a green polka dot, or green with white polka dot. So that's going to be one of her bags. And then I went to the fancy quilt shop today. And you know, fancy quilt shops are very expensive fabrics. So I only picked up little fat quarters, and I fell in love with this one. So it's like this sunflowery one with like, I don't know, that. And then I thought this would be pretty as like a liner fabric. But these are very, very expensive fabrics. And I was like, I don't think I can justify it. So I only got the little ones. And those teeny tiny little bits were like $3.75. And I was like, geez. Okay. So this one can be stitched closed. And this will just run a stitch around the outside like it did earlier. Okay. Now I'm going to take care of this one so that I can do the same thing. Uh-oh. I told them I was on a live. Sorry, guys. I told people I was on a live. Needing help a good problem to have. Yeah. But I don't think my husband would even dare to come down here to like help. I'm like, you're gonna have to start helping me. And he's like, I probably only need help because I juggle a million other things. Like if my kids went to school, I wouldn't have to worry about it. But I find I want to prioritize their education in our home. So that is why they are homeschooled. Okay, now I'm just trimming up this stuff on the back. Okay. The shoes. That's all done. Do this. This. Pull that down. finish up these bags, I will probably call it quits. It's getting towards dinner time. Okay. So I just press that. Take this off. And put this on. Okay. Then we're going to go back one. It's going to stitch this again. Okay, now I will put the front on. So I need to make sure I unzip the zipper. So that's open. Okay. That zipper will be open. And then I gotta make sure I add my tag, my little tags right here. Sarah Ann Creations. Well, a simplified version or abbreviated version. I put that down about an inch and a half, and I mark it so that they go in about the same spot on every single person's bag. I like it to be uniform. Okay, so I will add that. I just tuck that in. Then I take my top and I put that down. I hear my hubby getting home. Okay. And I just tape it down. Tape that down. And then it runs. It will run around the outside 4 times. So, let it start. Starts off. And it's going to run around the outside 4 times. Pack it all down. I'm just over here getting the next one ready. Lining up where my tags are going to go. didn't look right. Okay. So that's stitched all the way around, and now I just have to add the back to it. But first, I'm finishing up this bag. And I will do the same thing that I did with that one. And add the back to it. Okay. So this will do the same thing. I just got to go back one stage or one step. Minus one. And then I'll do the same exact thing. So go back one. It's like, no. Okay. So there that goes. Now I can add the back for this. The next one will only go around once. Right? This one's done. I just gotta add the backing. So this one, the backing. The yellow is on the back, ready to be stitched on. So it's just going to stitch on this backing. And what it's going to do is it's going to stitch down to here and then go back up. Because it needs to leave an opening for you to turn it. I've got a song stuck in my head. I need to attach this, and then I just need to sew it down, and then we will be done with the bags. So this one is all sealed and done. Now I just need to do this one. Oh, which it knocks me out because I didn't stop it where it needed to be stopped. So I have to rotate through all of the things. Now I'm back to the end. Okay, attach that in, make sure nothing's folded over, and stitch. Almost done. And I can move you guys. Okay. Move you. Okay, so that's done. So they're both completed. All I have to do is undo it. Where did I put that? It's right here. Ugh. I can really tighten this sucker down, so I just loosen these. I can pop it out. Okay. Done. Pull that out. Whoa. Okay. Those are done. Just lay on my tape over here, and later I decide whether it can be reused or not. Okay. One. And the second one. Okay. Okay. This one. Okay. So now these are all done. I just need to trim around them and then flip them. Thank you, Eve. I appreciate you stopping by and all your support. I hope you have a good night. Okay. That one's ready. Okay. So then I use my big old scissors to trim these up. Put one to the side so I don't accidentally nick it. And I do an angle up to this first stitch. Angle to this stitch. And then I turn it around to make sure I don't actually cross any stitching. That's good. And then I start cutting around the bag. Okay, it's being temperamental. It's like, no. And I leave anywhere from 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch around the outside of it. So I just run this along. Some parts of it, it'll just slide along and cut, but other parts, you really gotta snip into it. That to get trimmed. Okay, so all that excess goes away, and then you're left with this, and you just need these liner fabrics. So you pull that up and away, and I fold this down to hold that in place, and I just go straight across. And like that. And then I trim this, just because you don't need that long of a fabric to go to the inside of the bag. And then that's what I will seal it with. I'll go ahead and move to this one. And trim these at an angle. Trim that at an angle. Okay. And then I just trim it the same way I did the other one. across. Cut around the outside. Okay, and I am going to snip these corners, not these ones, the bottom ones, after I do this. Trim this. Okay, like that. And then I like to snip these because it helps it lie a little bit flatter on the inside when you flip it. Just don't snip the actual threads or it won't work right. You'll ruin the bag. Okay. Do this one too. Did you guys know that today was like National Root Beer Float Day or something like that? I'm like, man, I need to get a root beer float. Okay, so now it's all ready. And you're going to turn through the yellow. I'm going to turn through the yellow pocket. So I grab here. And I just slowly start turning the whole bag inside out. Or out this way. It won't be officially inside out until we flip it the full way. Okay. Then I just use a bone folder to get out the corners. Make sure they're nice and smooth. That corner smooth. Go to this other side. This one doesn't want to push out. Come on. Sometimes they're picky. Okay. I think I got it. Okay. There's that. And I need to go press this but I will flip my other one too, so that they're both ready to be pressed. Grab this, pull it through. That. And I don't want to tug too hard because I don't want to rip the stitches that's holding the bag together. So just try and flip it through as nicely as I can. Okay. Okay. This next corner. Just keep rotating the bag until all the corners are through. Okay. Now, both of these can be pressed. Tuck these in. Now, I probably won't be showing you a finished bag because pressing takes time. And then I also have to glue the seam shut. So it won't be entirely complete. Because I'm gonna need to go make some dinner. And it takes about 10 minutes for, I usually give it about 10 minutes for that glue to seal the seam. Because I want it to be a good, strong hold. But I can show you what I do. I'm just trying to press this as nice and smooth as I can. I mean, I can't get out every wrinkle, but I try my best. You guys are probably sick of staring at. Let's see if you can see what I'm doing over here. Sorry, this cord is in the way. I can't move it. Sorry. I have cords every which way. So I just try and smooth it out as best I can. Press down my seams. Give it a little spray. Spraying it acts as like a steam because once the heat hits it, it kind of steams out the wrinkles. So it's pretty smooth, if you can see that. So it went from this to this. So that's what I do is I just press down all the corners and all the edges. Gotta get this tape out of in here, because if you don't get this masking tape out, it leaves like a sticky residue on everything, and I don't like that. Press down the corners. I did use my heat press one day to do this, or to like finish it off and press it, but I didn't like the look it gave, so I just do it by hand with my little heat press. And I spray it. So it smooths it out for me. Okay, do the other side. Makes it nice and smooth and pretty. Okay, then I will take these over here and glue them shut. Rotate you back around. So I use this Fabri-Tac glue. This is the glue I use, Fabri-Tac. I grab my little sewing clips and I turn this like this. And first I clip like in the middle. Then I open it up and squirt the glue down in. Sorry, can't see what I'm doing. And then I seal it up. And then I take more of these and I just attach them to the edge. And then I seal up the rest of the way. And I clip it some more. Okay, so that one's sealed and ready to go, or let it dry. Now I will do that with this one. Separate it. then I will attach the clips to it. Then I will glue the rest. Like that. Just press it down and clip it together. Okay, and then that one's done too. So both of those are complete, but they need time to set. So I will just show you what the finished product should look like once it gets turned right side out. This is one of the giveaway bags that I made. So this is what the finished thing will look like when it gets turned right side out. I will add a little pull to it. This is just ribbon. So it's got the ruby red slippers. There's no place like home. And then on the inside, you have the yellow brick road. And then my little tag on the side. Now, you can't always see the creations part, but I can never get it perfect every time. So, and that's the finished bag. And that's what these will look like once it's all dried and ready to be flipped. So, and that's the one thing that I really love about this pattern is that each of them comes out the same exact way every single time. Like it never changes. They all look the exact same when they come out. Sorry, I'm examining my work. I'm like, oh, I see something. Ooh. There we go. Good thing I took it out. Some of these things I don't notice until they are already to their new owners. Hold on. There we go. Okay, but anyway, that is a finished bag. That's what these bags will look like once they're all dried and ready to be turned inside out. But that will be it for tonight, guys. Gotta go have some dinner with the hubby. And hopefully sleep better tonight because I was up at like 5 something this morning and whew, I don't like that. But that will do it, guys. I appreciate you all stopping by. I don't know who's still here. I know I know we lost a few people. Oh, is that tonight? I didn't know that was tonight. Yeah, I definitely have to see that. I appreciate you all stopping by. I know you guys have already seen this done before, but everyone in my Discord group that I'm a part of was cheering me on to go on. So, I will. So, I came on because everyone was like, "Oh, go on anyway." So, I'm glad I did, and I'm very thankful that all of you stuck around and hung out with me. I really do appreciate it. So, I will see you guys next time. The next live I will be doing will probably be doing for Tmall shirts. So, if you're not subscribed for that, make sure you're subscribed so that you'll get notified when I do another live. But thank you guys all for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.